Hey, yo, you, what's going on, everybody? Got a guest up in the building, Ice Turner. Um, let me put him on right quick. Let me put him on right quick, y'all. Um, here we go. Hey, what's good, fam?
What's
I'm gonna
going on,
play some
family?
music for you. Yeah, I'm gonna play some little music, man. You know I'm gonna do that introduction, fam. But yeah, what's going on
Indeed.
with you?
Not much, man. Not much. Can't complain. How's everything going with you?
That's Hey, man. Hey, just living and loving, man. That's all we can do.
I hear that.
Yeah, we're gonna do things a little different for the stream, y'all. So with Ice Turner, it's my house, his house, and so he likes to have some music when we get started. So we're gonna treat this like an executive suite a little bit, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
So we're gonna kind of pretty much start off with some music. So Ice Turner gave me a cooler track to start off with. What was the importance to this particular track that you wanted me to kind of start off with?
Well, the main thing is because it's a song. I don't want to give too much away, but it kind of speaks on the theme of what we're going to be discussing. As far as being a god amongst men, it's just a superior perspective on life and just where you're at, in it.
That's what's up. But yeah, without further ado, yeah, we're gonna kind of let y'all minds get a little stimulated while Ice Turner probably do a little bit more prepping, a little bit more thinking on things, and likewise with yours truly. And for everybody else, I want y'all to ponder on this. We're about to go into what we call the God Hour. This is gonna be next level stuff. What we talking about? Unlike
Indeed.
anywhere else you'll hear this from, for sure. So let me play this little track for y'all. Just little snippets because all the copyright issues, sort of. But yeah, it's just a little track by Busta Rhymes and Rick Ross. But we ain't gonna give too much away. We'll play little clips of it for y'all to really think on. So yeah, here it goes, y'all. Let's prep and get ready for this live. But yeah, in the midst of that, make sure that you're grabbing your nachos, your hot dogs, your popcorn, and your soda. Here we go.
Take notes. Write it down. Get a pad. Learn, motherfuckers. Learn. From a God MC. Ain't too many left. That's right. There's only a few out there, y'all. Motherfucker, everybody talk about Busta Rhymes. Bust a bust, the man you trust. In bust we trust. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. The only nigga we trust is Bust a Bust.
All right, all right.
Indeed. There's a piece in there that I think Chris Rock had mentioned as far as being the God MC. If you remember the original term back then, they used to use cipher. This means is a gathering of the brethren within the 360 of knowledge, wisdom, understanding. 120, 120, 120 plus 3. That's 360. So it's a cipher. So anyone that holds that mic, anyone that's gifted to speak, is basically like a god.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Most definitely, man. By the way, how do I sound? I just plugged in my microphone. Do I sound pretty cool?
Oh, you sound great, man. You sound great.
All right, right on, man. I usually, when I do my mic check, I'd be like, hey, yo, 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 what up, what up? Yes. But I feel you, man. And I think like just in regards to what we're talking about, and as a disclaimer to a lot of people, like it's about being godly or angelic, not necessarily a deification, but yes, there are godly people amongst those that we call average. And a lot of people don't understand that, like, your life was a certain way for a reason.
The hardest part for most people to do or to deal with is acceptance. This is what makes them, at that primal level, in a sense, because they struggle with acceptance. Accepting really their own nature, accepting, the reality that they created. That's part of the problem.
Facts. Yeah, a lot of people pretty much create or destroy their own lives instead of going off the blueprint that was probably given to them by divine forces. So we see like this destruction before our eyes. And so my thing is, we believe so much in people that are devilish. How come we can't believe in the fact that there are people that are godly or angelic? Just makes you wonder.
Absolutely. I don't know. It's just it all depends, because it's like I think everything comes down to the pigment of your lens and the hues, the colors, and those colors are based on the effects of the hits that you took in your life. So for certain people, it's hard to really see what's right or what's in the right standing or what's righteous when all you've experienced and all you felt and all you dealt with was just wrongdoings, ill things, just happening continuously.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we just see pretty much like in this day and age now, I mean, in many ways, like I guess just even looking at the thumbnail, that was actually a picture of Michael the Archangel, and he was walking amongst these different armies that surrounded him, and you could see like this shining light from the heavens beaming upon him. And so I think about those that live a chosen life, upon you recognizing your calling and your purpose, you're going to deal with the multitudes that surround you. But you basically got to realize you have the strength to defeat an army upon you.
Absolutely. And those that have been chosen have actually suffered the most of anything. Like say for example, you can see a bunch of kids do whatever, but if you spit on a sidewalk, it seems like your punishment is more severe than everyone else's. Now, have you experienced that in your life?
Oh yeah, man, all day long. I mean, I feel like I'm watched all the time. I feel like a lot of people ain't watched. A lot of people can get away with things I can't. A lot of people seem to be more blessed than me, but my miracles speak for itself. But it seems more or less they've been held less accountable in life than myself.
Hmm. And this is where I believe it derives from, is that the anointing, that Christos, that thing that God has put on you, it's that oil itself, right? It's it's a benefit to everyone else except for your own self, is what you basically look at. Like, man, I have the gift to basically give this to somebody. Like, I've given blueprints away for, businesses and other people's stuff, and watch them basically like prosper like heavily. I've given ideas away, and I've seen, it transform in their lives. Was able to bless people, with, ready-made ideas, concepts, and, whatnot, and seen it basically work in everyone else's life. I go out to try it for myself. It doesn't run as smoothly. It's like everything that I've had to earn, um, I've really had to like work 10 times as hard, you know. So
Facts.
the anointing doesn't seem like it's not for you, it's for others. It's basically, but how it works, for you, even though it looks like it's working against you, it's like it's constantly messing things up, constantly creating, chaos, constantly creating, a bigger target on you. It's like it's to mess things up, to kind of keep you almost dependent upon being in line with that spirit, you know, being in line with the universe, being in line with, you know, the the message, because you have to be a clean pipeline in order for it to, to flow through properly. I mean, that's just from my, experience.
Facts. I mean, the pressure makes diamonds. So all the pressure you go through is actually making you more pure. I mean, the same thing in regards to making gold. The gold got to go through the fire in order for you to purify it from all of the things that doesn't make it gold, you know. Um, so yeah, with all the persecution, it's definitely making you more pure. It's kind of like the old saying: if you're not getting a lot of persecution in your life, you're probably not doing something right. You should have more people that hate you than people that love you in this world, if you're really like one of the chosen ones.
Yeah.
So
I feel like damn near everyone hates me. I'm like,
facts.
damn. I feel like I'm a pretty decent guy. I'm just honest. But then when you look at Jesus, he like, and he wasn't, a romantic dude. Like, he wasn't, like how people paint him out to be in the church. Like, he was basically tearing things up, flipping tables over, checking people, and he performed miracles here and there. And I think that's what Mankay was speaking on. And someone said, "I am sweet." 22 says, so there's a higher standard for the anointed ones. Absolutely. We're kind of like the Rangers, or the last line of defense, or the Navy SEALs out of God's army, per se. So it's not that, you have a higher standard, is that you become the standard, which is higher than what, is the social norm.
Right. And I think you're born into this. I don't think it's something you become. I think your whole life was already predestined. And basically, you'll be able to look back at your life and you'll see a catalog of certain patterns. And you'll start to kind of see how that all actually represents a certain vibration that you're supposed to be on. Some people say, the one of the cliches they say, they be like, man, that's like the story of my life, man. But really, they don't realize that's actually the frequency, the
Damn.
blueprint.
Damn.
Yes.
You hit them right there, the frequency, the power of that, man. So we move in vibration, force magnetic fields. We are really energy at the end of the day, because if you look at energy, it can't be destroyed. It can only be, reused, relinquished, whatever like that. So we're energy. So it's imperative that we protect our energy and do the things that's necessary to up our vibration in that energy. And that's when the blessings come. Got some people in the chat. I wanted to speak on that piece you did yesterday, not to go too far from it. That was an excellent breakdown, that live stream you did yesterday, brother Ray J.
Oh, I appreciate that, fam. I really appreciate that. And that was just kind of part of the anointing there. Like I said, no notes, it just flowed, man. It was crazy. Like I told you, I was going to be like water, and it just, whoo, only a certain gifted person can do that. And I'm not like bragging, but it's facts, because I didn't know how it was going to go. The creator just kind of guided my ship, and we just flowing. But I appreciate that, fam. I really do, because it's definitely an anointing.
Oh yeah. So that's when you know a message is potent, and that's what I was telling you. As far as like with the channels and everything like that, with the numbers, this is a little funny system they have going on. By the way, what's going on with Kim? Shout out to you. She had mentioned me in the chat. When you look at this system, it's not like the Wild Wild West. There's people that are hand selected to basically to push out an agenda. As far as people that are here that are bearing a true witness are going to have some difficulty. As you said before, I think the piece you were talking about as far as being anointed or people not liking you. So when you got someone that's moving around and everybody likes him, he likes everyone, he's not necessarily a friend.
No. And if you really think about it, that's what makes that person worldly, because the whole world likes them. If I'm separate from the world, literally the world cannot like me. I can't have a majority of the world like me in order for me to be separate from the world. Now that's a double entendre. The world is like me, so I'm part of the world, but the world is like me because I'm just like the world. You see? So you got to be separate from that. If you really think like you're separate from the world, I don't want to be like the world. I dislike the world. I want the world to dislike me. There's only a few that can really like me and understand what I'm here to do and what I'm about. That's how it should be from the jump.
That's a strong stand right there. That you just the statement alone, just what you said. I don't want the world to like me, and I don't want to like the world. Now, how many men can actually say that? Can say that? I'm talking about really. That's going on behalf, of Yah, with your stones. He said, and it says that in the Old Testament somewhere. It says, "Don't go to Yah with broken stones." You know what I mean? It's, when you have broken stones, that means you're compromised as a man. You compromise your purity as a man. You compromise your sanctity as a man. You compromise your honor as a man. But to actually say something as clear and as powerful as that, and to take that stand, that's different right there. I definitely wanted to highlight that.
Yeah, and this is a good highlight too. Speaking of highlights, Brown Do Life said social media brainwashes people to want everybody to like them. Yeah, I mean, because it kind of brings up this other, I came up with this phrase called social bleaching. You basically bleach out. Yeah, see, right. Just bleach out everything, man. Bleach out the colors. Make everybody, like they say, the monochromatic. I learned that when I was in art school. Basically, monochromatic is one color. So
one world.
You bleach one world, one. See, there we go. There we go.
and that's the thing, man. As men, and it says, remember that movie? I forgot, it might have been Freedom Fighters, or it was a debate movie with Denzel Washington and one of the Smollett family members. He told the guy, he said, "Look, you got to go out, discover your righteous mind, and then once you discover it, you got to fight to keep it." You can't allow things around you to lose your mind. Your mind is the most powerful weapon you have. It's the most powerful asset you have.
Yes.
Then the next part is time. You got to have mind literacy as well as time literacy. So when you have mind literacy and time literacy, your life is going to basically, change from there. You're changing, you're altering your destiny, because the things that you desire or need or want is in different realities. It's in different realities parallel. It's just bringing yourself to it.
Facts.
This is what makes you a god. When you see
Facts.
what you want and what you need, and you can't look at what you don't have, or say basically look at that. You gotta look at, like, hey, it's there. I just gotta reach
Facts.
for it. I gotta change my
Facts.
ideas. It's about having an enriched perspective. See, all it takes is changing your perspective and moving in the action of it. This is what makes you a god amongst men.
Facts. And I get people with this one all the time. Notice they've made all these supercomputers, but no one has never been able to duplicate or actually make another example of the human brain. Never. And it's to the point where there's been predictions that AI could actually probably do a better job at probably making something similar to the brain than humans themselves once they picked up algorithms. So that tells me that there was something greater than what's on this earth that created the brain. And this brain is within every type of organism that's on the planet. Like, there's something powerful about that brain, so but yeah, it just boggles my mind that a lot of people still don't believe that there's something greater out there. They say that it's a coincidence. I don't see it as a coincidence. I see it as a great design. Someone really understood design.
Absolutely. Look at the pyramids. Look at how it was put together. You look at the math of that. It's funny how when it's broken down, it's really like a cube. And you break down that cube, it's just like the cross. Everything that's been presented to you is basically telling you you're God. And we just haven't waken up to that idea,
Facts. I mean, and kind of like the live stream that I did last night, given the date of this live stream, it's just to let people know that all this folklore, urban legends, things about vampires, this stuff is real.
Oh yeah.
We're blinded. We're in this matrix thinking, oh, this is just fairy tale. No, there are fairies, there are vampires, there are giants, there are werewolves, there are creatures, there are prehistoric things, there are all kind of everything you could think of. It has existed, it does exist, or it shall exist. There's this company called Boston Dynamics. They're building like the closest to real life androids that we can see. They can do flips now. They can literally do backflips, all that. I mean, it's mind-boggling, but people don't get that. There's one thing I want to highlight with what Venom said. He said blonde wigs on black women is disgusting self-hate. There's actually I wanted to point out what he said, because there's actually there's some thing about the blonde wig. I think it was based on a certain goddess or god of rebellion, and so people have been wearing the blonde wigs, not realizing that it has a lot of occultic meanings to it.
Anarchy, chaos. That's why Odell Beckham had that blonde in his hair. There's a couple basketball players that had that blonde streak in their hair. It's basically to represent anarchy and rebellion, as you had said. But if you look at the wig concept, if you look at the lace fronts what these women are putting in their hair, or the sew-ins, where are they're getting this hair from? They don't really know. They don't know who was sacrificed for that hair. So guess what they're sewing into their hair? They're sewing into however that person was sacrificed onto their head.
Yeah, that's another spirit they're putting on their head, and people don't realize that. Like, and so that's why a lot of a woman or a typical female that's not being a woman, when you put other people's hair in your head and you putting that spirit on you, it's going to get in your mind, and it's going to make your own hair cursed, and it can even affect you and the child that's within your womb upon you being pregnant. All those spirits that you're putting upon you, like in the days of the fallen angels, they the ones that taught them all this. That's why I be telling guys, like, the word beautiful is subjective to me, because for a lot of different reasons. I can give you the short answer and the long answer on that. But I guess for now, the short answer is, You know, in essence, the fallen angels showed the feminine gender on this planet what they meant by being beautiful, by wearing all these different hairs, have your hair out long, wear this extra makeup and all this stuff that was taught by fallen angels.
Damn. You might elaborate a little bit more into that? That was, you took it to another level right there.
Yeah, I mean, and then you look at these makeup artists like on Instagram, and given the date of this live stream, Instagram been on and popping. It is popping right now. You know, so shout out to Coolgen87 up in the building, by the way. And of course, shout out to Venom G54. We just talked about your comment about the black wigs. Kimberly Blue, she said their hair is sacrificed to their demon deities. Yep, and then sold in the form of capitalism to the United States. It's a crazy thing. And then what? In the hoods, dudes and chicks be trying to sell the wigs and the weaves for the low. But they don't realize it's all part of sowing that seed into the occult. They don't get that. But yeah, so yeah, I gave you the short answer in regards to the fallen angels. But the long answer is, I see amongst the feminine gender, it's not that she's beautiful. She has beauty, but men make her beautiful upon her getting around the right man. You know, so I always looked at the beauty and the beast as backwards in some ways, you know, because in essence, the feminine gender, based on her being like the yin, she has chaos, and the man being the yang, he represents order. So in her chaos, she's more like the beast. But the man comes in her life to tame the beast, to tame the darkness that's in her. But it literally takes a God amongst men to point that out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you think she's able to discern the difference right away, eventually down the line, or never at all?
There's only one way she'll be able to discern, and that's if she has the guidance of righteous men or righteous women that were also guided by righteous men at one point in their life. Like, she won't be able to do that on her own. So yeah, that part where you said never will, yeah, on her own, she never will. I mean, there will be some times she could learn things the hard way, but it won't necessarily be a lesson. It would just be an experience, you know. So, and it's sad that amongst a lot of ladies out here, they have to learn things the hard way via experience instead of just be willing to learn by being taught.
Indeed. Blessings and peace, most man. Blessings and peace. And see, a lot of the reasons, that's why I said, like, in my opinion, I said a long time ago, I actually had got banned on, I think one of the social medias, might have been Facebook, years ago. And all I really said, I said, all women need masculine guidance. And it was like an uproar. And I ended up getting in one of those jails for it, like Facebook jails or some shit. You know, just putting out something that's just as simple as that. But if they really were paying attention to it, I said masculine guidance. See, the thing is, black women, a lot of these American black women, they basically will accept the homosexual and his energy, and basically will shun, curse, and try to castrate, you know, masculine energy, masculine guidance. Ain't that some shit?
But see, you know, and this is not to shout out at even the rainbow community, but with those, just to be, I guess, on a social standing, those that become the other way, if you will. I tell people all the time that because you got this debate of where the incubus came from or where the succubus came from. I've always told people that the incubus came from the succubus. The succubus did not come from the incubus. And actually, the succubus can be both the succubus and the incubus at the same time. So, in essence, when you get a guy that's kind of on wishy-washy with this gender, he's just the byproduct of the succubus in many ways, whether through experience or through genetics.
True story. It's a confusion because the woman,
Very much.
the single parent woman is confused. because she's trying to basically get into a different mindset as far as she's trying to escape these old feelings. She's trying to escape her own mistakes. She wants to basically see herself above this struggle that she created for herself. And her wounds or pains is basically self-inflicted. So she's basically in this space. She wants to get away from this, so then she's not really raising a child. You can't really raise a child if you're a woman, right? Just be honest with you. It's a man that raises a child, just like how God raises the man. Just like how the man raises you, and you know what I'm saying? That's the process, the cycle of things. So if you don't really have that, you know, what you basically have as a single parent mother, she's just maintaining the child as a pet, you know, like a pet dog. The kid doesn't necessarily get the standards or the principles and the purpose of the man, the purpose of the God man in the situation he's the identifier. He helps the child to identify their own destiny, their sexuality, and you know, and their truth. Sorry, just gonna
Facts. You know, and my main thing is, you know, with all these guys that labeled themselves, let's just say the guys from the alpha sector. See, my thing is, I've always been akin to a certain energy, I guess, sort of like those guys, and you do too in your own way. But
oh yeah,
I see you and me as some type of guys that are like actually a cut above that, but we don't go around talking about it.
pretty
You know
much.
what I'm saying?
You got it. You got it.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, I've heard, let's just say, people's favorite YouTuber. I won't say who this person is. You might know who I'm talking about. But, you know, they would try to say, you know, alpha is about being like a man of God or being like, you know, just on this higher level. But see, what they forget about is really going into detail of really explaining what do you mean by this God level, and is it enough to just be alpha? I don't think it's enough just to be alpha. I think you have to kind of put yourself in a different space. You can't just fly. You have to be the sky. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be the surroundings. You know, you have to be a reflection of the omnipotent and the omnipresent, which represents the creator. But people are not talking about, like you said, this being just an energy force. People are not talking like this. You know, so my thing is, like, even amongst some folks, I feel like you know, you just I guess, given the live stream title that, you know, that is presented tonight, being a God amongst men is basically you being a man amongst mortals, if that makes sense. But ironically, these mortals think they're immortal. You know what I'm saying? They're yeah, and like they can go on just not having morals and they're immortal. Like, they can live their best life and there's really no thought of the other side or another life. That's just the kind of world we live in today.
and that's the reason why they have the struggles that they have, because there's no weight behind who they are or what they're saying. Now, when I came out in the beginning, everybody was talking about demands. You got to demand this from a woman. You got to demand that. You got to demand this from people. But when I came from a different approach, I said command. Then everybody tried to follow that wave. But then they were trying to explain command as though it was demand. Like, no, dickhead, you got to understand the difference between command and demand. See, what command doesn't require a lot of lip service.
See. And I was like, you know, when I kept hearing them talk about the word dominate, I was like, I don't dominate, I direct. You know, you got to give her directions. Got to give her directions.
They don't know what they're talking about. See, it's like it's crazy because I knew who you were, like in the beginning when you was commenting under, you know what I'm saying, certain videos. I'm like, yo, this dude got it. This dude, he gets it. He gets what I'm talking about. So then I found out you had a channel. That's kind of the same way I moved around in this beginning. I wasn't telling people I had a channel. I was just like, I put out my videos. You know, I comment under, you know, certain people's stuff. And, you know, I had people at the time that I was, you know, working with. They were like, yo, why don't you tell people you do YouTube? You got a channel, da 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 da. I was just like, you know, people find it, they find it, you know. Kind of like
facts.
That's just hitting in plain sight, man. Those that those that come across me were meant to come across me. That's how I look at it. So I'm not really caught up in all these numbers and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? God will take care, you know what I'm saying, my hands, as he's always done. So I'm not tripping off of that.
Yeah, that true divine aspect of everything. People forget about the divine. They thinking so much about the dividends. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So uh
Exactly.
Venom, he said demons and pagan rituals and wigs and weaves, voodoo and East Indian gods of destruction, Kali. Yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of that stuff
Damn.
even was brought back to tribes of Africa. I think the opposite was here in the Americas. It wasn't, well, of course, with a lot of Black America, they did try to resort back to a lot of the Eastern practices of the paganism with adding on here. But the opposite happened here in the Americas with how they got rid of hair. Especially amongst the indigenous tribes here, they believed in their hair. But when you cut off their hair, you cut off the spirit, kind of like with Samson. He cut off his hair, he cut off his spirit. So the opposite happened here in the Americas.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. I want to send a shout out to Cool Gent, Respect Family, and Kimberly. You said I love the esoteric information. I used to watch old YouTube. We got some stuff going on as far as the esoteric. A lot of videos I had locked, unfortunately, because I had people trying to impersonate me in front of their own crowd. But it's like you understand there's a difference. When I'm doing certain things, I understand the rituals. I understand the consequences behind what I'm doing. These guys are doing this for likes, views, or to be, put above shoulders. Every word that I've uttered on here, everything that I've said or done, like I understand the consequences behind it. See, this is the reason why you say me and the other Ray J are gods amongst these primal monkeys. They're not even men. What I see on here, I'm just going to be honest. I'm gonna cut it. This is on my tab. Because they're not even consciously aware of what they're doing. They're just doing things, But I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, speaking of tab, man, I got a little sip. I'm just chilling back. Not too much into. I try to drink stuff that's more like of our melon and speed. There's a lot to say about when they came up with the word spirits, especially on these shores, spirits. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Flesh eating spirits. And that was a hard
Yeah.
thing for me because I grew up because my father was a bartender or whatever, like, so I used to have list, I'm sorry, and he would have a built-in bar at our little house, whatever, like that, when I was a teenager. So I learned how to make drinks. So I wouldn't cut all the classes, but I would cut some of the classes. I keep up with the grades, but I invite people over. We'd have drinks, have something to smoke, whatever, like that. So drinking was kind of like a social thing. It was kind of like it was just like almost like a part of you. So really understanding that knowledge, as far as what the flesh eating spirits, that becomes that challenge, But it's like, do you want to ascend or descend, But I subscribe to the edibles.
Oh, she got an interesting question. I have had people tell me that esoteric beliefs are of the occult. Are they the same thing? No, they're not. Like the spirituality and the word and the scripture actually is the esoteric. There's nothing. Now, when you manipulate certain words to make it something else, then it becomes occultic. That's another topic. So, like, I'm trying to think of a scripture like when it says, in my word, you shall know the truth and the truth shall make you free.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you, but to me, when I know the truth, I feel free after I know the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what becomes a cult is if it's somebody else's truth that's not similar to the word or universal truth.
Exactly. But the key to that is once you discover the truth, to walk into that truth. Because when you walk into that truth, you can easily spot the lie. When you're walking in a lie, it's hard for you to see the truth. This is where that separation begins. Because to walk in that truth is a road less traveled. You know, this is what really separates you from being, you know, a god man versus just a man.
Facts, facts. And amongst this world, we can go more into this even more for sure, because there's a lot that this world tries to do because they understand our lingo to a certain extent, but the problem is this world isn't righteous. So my thing is, this world aspires to be something else, you know, and so basically, I would say that a lot of these people try to see themselves more or less as a demigod, even though they have no proof and they don't really represent the divine. You know, you even have, I'm just going to keep it a buck, Anglo-Saxon. Well, if you translate Anglo-Saxon, that means sons of angels, allegedly.
But didn't Lucifer say that, or did God say that Lucifer rules this world?
Bingo, bingo.
Okay.
So it is, I guess, rightfully so. And I tell people that this is Lucifer / Satan's world, but this is still the creator's earth, or to put it simply, this is the devil's world, but this is still God's earth. So despite all the things that have been done upon this planet, look at how it still restores itself. Look at how much nature can still tear down a building over time with just enough vines to wrap around the brick and the mortar. Exactly. So that's just the power of nature in itself, despite the way mankind not being kind to the earth. You know, despite what it tries to do to be unkind to the earth, this earth still finds a way to heal itself. Let me see. Cool Jen, he said, I just got done watching a bunch of dating coaches going at it, SMH. See, I think with a lot of these guys, it's either they talk about game, it's about their ego, or game and ego. That's all I can think of. Maybe sports here and there, but either of those things, you know. Last time I checked, a God amongst men doesn't even think about games. You just think about just the substance, the energy, just you know.
and you don't need game for women. Game is really for it came from the streets. I keep saying that. The stuff that you hear out here is not game. And if you think of game, it's manipulation, it's deception, and it's things communicated that's omitted. Okay, debate for whatever selfish gain there is. So I push guidance out there. Like last night, I ran into this young lady. I went to go grab some stuff from a convenience store late at night. This young lady, actually, she's a little bit older than me. You know, she's actually coming from a family function, but she actually lives out of state. Now, I didn't need game to push when this woman has multiple businesses. She just asked me a few simple questions, really 3 questions, to get out of the way. I didn't need game to do all that shit. The only thing I really do is just like I pull my mask down. I was in my car. She saw my face. So then I got out of my car. I started talking to her. Kept it simple. She asked me, okay, she mainly wanted to know if I work, if I have a place to lay my head, and if I don't have a bunch of scraggle daggles, you know, on my line. That's it. I didn't need game to do all that shit.
Right. And I think I did a video about this when I first started uploading content last year. And I don't call like what I do as like the cold approach or the hot approach. I don't do that. I just say the old approach, which is basically the old school way, which is like you said, it's like a situational occurrence. I won't even say an approach. It's just a situational occurrence. So, I mean, for me, I could just, you know, I could see someone I like and, you know, she may have had a bad day. So we could start a conversation based off that. Then it could lead to something else. Or there may be something about her that she might like. For example, like you just brought up face mask. I
Mm-hmm.
wear this. I don't know. My little niece, she gave me a teddy bear face mask to wear. She was like, "Can you please wear it, please?" But
Oh,
I found out wearing that face mask gets some attention. So you get a chick, she'll come up, yo, that's a cute face mask. I'm like, oh, right on. And then
mm-hmm.
it can lead to other things. So it's like you said, it's more organic, you know,
Mm-hmm.
game. Like game and organic, like them two don't mix. Organic is you're just organic. So yeah, I'm like, okay, you guys that claim you got game, whatever, you either are that or you're organic, and obviously they're not organic.
Mm-mm.
And and also like you said, like real game ain't talked about
Exactly.
outside of the streets. It
Exactly.
stays where it is. The real game stays in the field on the streets.
Exactly. The stuff that you hear out here is bullshit. They basically get some money out of you. Yeah, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. Last time I checked, the game is to be sold, not to be told. And so,
Exactly.
come on, man. People
Exactly.
breaking code. People
Did,
breaking code.
but see, but this the problem is because of certain people that broke code originally that put this shit out here. They sprint a little bit because then they got these other guys hot nosing, and then what they gonna do? They turn around, and take this information, and try to put it out there, on YouTube, and then they make these little books or whatever like that. Yeah, I'm the game. I'm the player. I'm the man. Da da da. I you're a player, but you're taking women out on dates. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like you're a player, you're spending money. So you're spending because you didn't spend $500, so you spent $400. So you're a player. Like no, I'm gonna explain the difference between these guys. I ain't talking about me being a player or anything like that. I never gave myself a label. I'm just Ice Turner. See, these guys get excited about a woman making them dinner. You know what I'm saying? I have women in my life are making me money, and I'm still ungrateful. But that's a different conversation. But these guys are excited about that. But these guys are the top gurus and everything like that. I don't give that type of advice. You know, it all comes down to the man that you are, to yourself. I said before, it's the quality of your manhood. It's your enriched perspective. You know, it's how you really see yourself, to yourself. Because if you respect yourself, other people are going to respect you. See, this is where you build yourself up to become a man that you can respect. That's what life is about. It's not about anything else. That's the game. Really is building yourself up, becoming a man that you can respect. Once you can respect the man that you are, nothing else really fucking matters.
Facts. Talking about being a god amongst men. So being
Mm.
godly, you're being a reflection of his image. The ultimate goal is for you to reflect him. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't want to look like a player, be like a player. I want to be godly. I want to. If a chick gonna come around, she gonna be like, "Wow, you glowing like you came straight from heaven, like you was sent from above." Like she's supposed to be singing that song to you. You're my angel, even though you don't own me. But I'm just saying. But yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
it's supposed to be like this righteousness
Mm-hmm.
when someone comes around you, and you
Absolutely.
don't hear that now. I Am Sweet, she said this quote unquote game stuff is becoming ridiculous. People taking it to another level. Hey, you know what, I Am Sweet? I'm gonna tell you what's going on. They actually are disrespecting the real game. They ain't taking it to another level. They if they're taking it to another level, it's a level down, not up.
Exactly.
They taking it a level down because the real folk that really understand the game and all about that game life, if you will, yeah, they salty, and I don't blame them for being salty. Folk broke
Mm-hmm.
code. A lot of folk have broke code.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, these guys are not really getting. These guys don't have the same women that they have on their thumbnails. I mean, at the same tier level. This is what they aspire to have. They aspire to get it off of your backs. You send me all your Patreon, your super chats, and everything like that to build me up, to get famous, so I can get all these subs, buy my merchandise, so I can get to this level, so I can actually finally get to sleep with these women that I have in my thumbnail. But then they tell you to stay in your own lane, but they don't even stay in your own lane. it's a lot of fuckery in here, and that's just like when you sit back and you look at it, it's like, you know what, you know, I'm gonna let you be great on your own. I ain't gonna say anything about it. Just don't do the obvious, like go on my channel and steal my material, steal what's real over here, and try to add it to your bullshit, and try to put it in a way that that I agree with you. You know, I don't agree with any of that stuff that's out here. It's a handful of people that I can respect, and if you're on my channel, if I'm on your panel, and if you're on my panel, then you know what I'm saying, you have my respect. If you don't see me there, I'm not working with it. I don't play the political game. You know, I stick to what's real and what's authentic and what's true.
Facts.
You know.
Yeah, and I've been trying to also like I've been hollering at I've been trying to talk to a lot of brothers now because I brought up this term last year and people can look this up, but I brought to the space demisexual, and people are like, what's demisexual? And it just means that you're only sexually aroused by someone that you're mentally, emotionally, and spiritually connected with. So to me, that's God talk right there. That's God talk to me.
Oh yeah.
Because if we're talking about the succubus, if we're talking about Me Too, if we're talking about allegations, then for me, if I have no connection, I can't get an erection with a chick. You know, it is what it is. So these dudes, they will do shaming language, kind of going back to the live stream that I did with Cool Gent 87 just recently, talking about male shaming language. Now, one of these things was guys will say, well, you're giving her too much non-sexual attention. I'm like, who are you to say I'm giving her too much non-sexual attention? Now, I'm trying to stimulate her mental before her physical is stimulated, and it's up to her. I'm not catering to her. More or less, I've gotten her to submit to me initially. She knows she's got to come around me correct, but that's what they don't understand. They thinking it's you being a puppy dog trying to chase her for some affection and a pat on the tail or a pat on the forehead or something.
No, it just makes you a heterosexual. I mean, you see something you like, you're supposed to be happy about that shit. You're supposed to be into it, because I'm excited about putting myself into this woman. I'm excited about putting my spirit into this woman, putting my philosophy into this woman. You know, she's got the aesthetics. She already has a physical representation of what I would like the world to see. Myself is beautiful, elegance, wisdom. You know, I like to put myself into her. I like to put my perspective into her. You know, I get excited about building into her. You know, building that knowledge so she becomes the equivalent. You know, I get excited about that. You know, and guys tell you that, oh man, shut the fuck up. Okay, this is
exactly. Check this out. Check this out. Now, you know, because you hear some guys talking about the pottery. That's cool. Now, some of them are getting it. But see, the thing is, do flowers or plants look good in a nice pot or in an ugly looking pot? So it's like, before you put yourself inside of her, how have you molded her prior? Have you even molded her prior? Or are you just going to pump and dump? Like, but yeah, but they don't think, I think it's possible. They think that, you know, when you get around a chick, you know, she's no good. She's just like, you know, the way a lot of these Western feminine genders are. There's no hope. So just catch, release, pump and dump, and that's it. And it's like, no. You the man. She's around you. She's got to get in line, you know, and if she don't, so be it. She got to go. Let her go. That's going to be on her to miss out. And that saves you all the headaches, all the Me Too allegations, all the wasted time. You know?
Exactly.
They don't get that, man.
Exactly. Because it's more so a codependency type of thing they have going on that they have to deal with. A lot of these guys don't really need game. Is what, you know, this YouTube shit is going on. They don't need game. They need to actually heal. They need to heal from whatever happened in their childhood era. They need to heal from just a lot of stuff. They just need to heal. You don't need game. You just need to heal. You know, that's when I really kind of figured it out. I was okay. I gotta look at it differently. So they have to heal. So then the other part with these women, what you really see is just like, you know, a church. You gotta look at yourself as the church. or not as a church, as the host of the church, right? It really
Right,
said,
right.
come as you are, but you're not leaving the same way. See, every woman that has came into my house, came into my building, came into my kingdom, has not left the same way. Every woman I'm talking about within the last 10 years that has dealt with me, right? And has dealt with me and what I'm into. What do they have now? The seeds that I put into them, they're actually living it right now. And the most difficult one I had, that was the closest to me, was very confusing because I gave other ones just a little bit, but this one, I gave the best of me. And what she's come about, it's okay, it's good. We'll work with that. But I'm like, damn, because again, you look at the tapestry and shit. Sometimes you got to look in, what's inside the engine. She has it. She just didn't have the confidence to go. She had all the tools, but it was just not there. Sometimes it just happens. But nonetheless, she's on her way. The other ones are in motion. It's what you put into that woman. What you sow your seed of knowledge. Lower end, higher end communication. It's the same thing. You look at sex. You fucking a woman's brain before you're fucking her body.
Exactly. They don't get that, man. And that's really the only, if there's only one thing that they should understand from the field and from the streets, if you will, they need to understand that's the way that connection goes. Because even the chick that's on the block that relies on the PI, she had to trust him to know that he's going to be there. Because to her, it's not about money, really. It's just about knowing somebody's going to be there. That's why she even gave him the money, so he had to put that in her mind,
Exactly.
and so that works in life. So I figured, get a lady around me, I want her to know that I'm gonna be there, and so that makes her want to put out more, because she see that there's some reciprocation in the situation.
Oh, yeah. And you know why else she's there? Because she sees that you're able to solve problems. See, a lot of guys think it's your looks matter, your
Right.
muscles matter, your money matters, all this matters, this matters. No.
Right.
Your ability to solve problems. That's it.
Right. They peep that practicality more than men do in their way, because they're trying their best from an emotional standpoint to really kind of really figure out how this man moves in a certain way, like how it can appeal to the little logic that's within the yin of their feminine. So they'll study a man to see if he's a critical thinker, in many ways. And before you continue on, how you doing on timing? Like, you got a lot going on, like you got a few things to do in a few minutes or anything like that?
No, I'm Gucci. I'm Gucci for now. Nothing really, crazy at the last minute.
Okay, this seems like it's starting to heat up pretty well, fam. And
Indeed.
I usually do my lives for an hour, so we at the 58-minute mark. So
we just turned on the oven, pretty much.
we just turned on the oven for y'all. Oh, I kid you not, we just turned on the oven. So I'll tell you what, if y'all want us to chop it up for about 20 more minutes, put a 1 in the chat. But we definitely might have to see if we can cook up the rest of this pie, if you will, in a sequel or something, maybe. But yeah, y'all want us to go in for 20 more minutes at least, just to start out with this particular live, put a 1 in the chat. We got you.
Yeah,
let's read some of these comments. But yeah, go ahead. What you saying?
That's it. I mean, I know they love the vibe, man. This is really the first time that we've actually worked together, and this has actually been a plan for a minute, because I was like, yo, you're definitely one of the few people that I wanted to, to actually do, to work with. You know what I'm saying?
Likewise, fam. Likewise.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see what everybody been saying, because y'all been chopping it up good. Okay, I think Kujin, he started off saying, to those so-called game dudes, if the country is filled with wicked women, then will you change your character? just to get with that woman that's wicked, that's what they're doing. That's why they're doing all this catch, release, pump, and dump. They've already changed their character. Even people that claim that they are of the Most High. It's sad, man. Sad state of affairs.
Exactly. They're even changing their titles of what they were. First, they were pickup artists. Then they were dating coaches. Now they're life coaches. Well, in order to be a life coach, shouldn't you have your life together?
Exactly.
That's one thing. You know, I ain't gonna get into that. I'm gonna leave that one alone. But it's just like they switch things up instead of just being straight up. Like, look, you know, you don't really. I mean, I don't know. I can't sit around and listen to a guy talk to me about how to bed women or how to basically successfully take a woman out on a date. You know, it's just stupid shit. You know, is that or how to be, you know, more, I would say machivo or whatever like that. Like, I don't really need to listen to these people about anything, really, to be honest with you. I mean, at this point, I pretty much watch the cooking stuff. It's just,
man, facts, man. I'll be watching the cooking stuff heavy, man. It's like you get more red pills or whatever you want to call it, like watching the cooking, man. Like, yo, facts.
It's like, what the hell is this shit, man? Like, what am I watching? These guys, man, should write children's books, man. It's crazy.
Man, you hit the nail on the head, man. Venom, he said, lay with beasts and rise with fleas. Monk mode until quality is on the horizon.
He said lay with beasts, damn.
Yeah. Well, see, Venom, that was a good point that you brought up towards the latter part of what you stated. Until quality is on the horizon. And here at my channel, I've been saying that a lady that gets around a certain gentleman, which I call the Black Knight, which is the opposite of the White Knight, she becomes his twilight. The twilight is in the horizon. So until the twilight shows up, it's just going to be a dark day. And you got a monk away. You know what I mean?
Damn.
So, yeah.
You don't mind elaborating on that White Knight? I never heard of the Black Knight.
Yeah, though you know we know about the White Knight, so yeah, boom,
Yeah.
we're gonna leave that one alone. But the Black Knight, he's kind of the indifferent guy, and I've told people because I've had people basically I've quizzed a few folk on panels, which you know I don't jump on a lot of people's panels at all, you know, because we know it was all that riffraff. But no, I asked him, I said, what y'all think the Black Knight is? They think the Black Knight is the bad boy. I'm like, no, that's not the Black Knight. The Black Knight is what the bad boy aspires to be. You know, the Black Knight is basically a true patriarchal man. You know, he's truly a patriarch, you know, truly in his masculine. And he has morals, he has principles, but he's like to himself. He's like an introvert, but he has great leadership. He knows how to conduct himself around other men. And he's just about his business. Like, you know, forget all the high value man stuff. The Black Knight is, he's not part of the gynocracy. He's not part of the plantation. He don't have a cape on, you know, so, you know, the White Knight got the cape on. So the other thing is, you know, the White Knight tries to save a hoe, if you will. He tries to save her. Well, the Black Knight, he'll help her, but he ain't gonna save her. Oh no, he ain't gonna save her. You know, damsel in distress, if she's next to scorched earth, you know, the White Knight will try to just come there and, you know, try to look out for her. The Black Knight, he's gonna walk past unless she calls out his name and she actually runs to him for help.
Exactly. And she has to run to you for help as though Mary Magdalene was after Jesus with his cloth. Okay? It's cloth. What does the cloth represent? You know what I'm saying? We're not going to say we're cut from a different cloth. No. We are that cloth. Right?
Yes.
We are that cloth. You know what I'm saying? Where you find healing. Okay? Where you find wisdom, inspiration, aspiration, everything that a woman is looking for. A new feeling, a new life is in that cloth. So she should be chasing after that. And then the issues in her blood is basically transformed, regenerated. She becomes a new woman. Okay? she wasn't who she was. So you might say like, okay, this is a chick is a beast or whatever like that, da da da. But that woman might be a beast, or she might be out of pocket. She might be a thought. She might be whatever. But around me, she's gonna be a different man. I mean, sorry, not different man. Apologize if we had the acting now. They're gonna be different.
Some of them will, the rebellious ones.
Yeah, yeah. I had to be careful. I say I was just flowing with it, but it's just like their behavior is going to change, because when you're around something powerful, your behavior is going to change. You know what I'm saying? A lot of reasons why women are in the positions that they're in, you know, they're lonely or with a man that they can't respect, is because of their behavior. But when you get around a man, you know, that is that is a little bit higher than what she's seen before, she's going to behave differently. Okay, he's not a celebrity, but it's something about him is powerful.
Facts. And so that's why I'm like, basically, the Black Knight is the quintessential gentleman. And so, as I've said before, the gentleman is not the high value man. Like I've explained with Venom, and you know, he basically, you know, he pretty much co-signed. You know, really high value man should describe a man. That should not be what you label a man. You know, has he shown how much of a high value he is? But that's not who he is, if you will. You know, they labeling someone that hasn't really shown that they are a certain way. You know, but yeah, the Black Knight aspect, I think it's coming back more because what we see before us, scorch earth. So yeah, we're gonna see a lot of white knights, and like I've talked to some people before, there's gonna not be a lot of black knights. There's still gonna be more white knights. Now, one thing I guess to kind of also kind of tie you in with, because I believe a black knight is a god amongst men too. So you know, shout out to Freeport, aka Professor MGTOW. He brought up the idea of Jack Dawson. So Jack Dawson is a perfect example of a black knight. Perfect example.
Excellent. And that was actually before his time. I remember he brought that out. A couple other pieces, but that right there, that was definitely one of his signatures.
Yes, indeed. That was dope. Let's see, let me see, man, y'all been chopping it up good. Hold on, let me try to catch up with some of what y'all been saying. So let me see something here. Kuja 87, he said, the other Ray J, you know what's sad is that in the black community we act like as if we don't need each other. We put material BS over authenticity. Well, yeah, I mean, people have become like vampires, like I've said in my live stream yesterday, given the date of this live stream. People have become more or less vampiristic, more sociopathic. So material people, you know, what do parasites do? They drain people of their materials, resources. So people are focused on the next quench, the next thirst, the next hunger. People hunger this stuff. And so, yeah, I mean, forget helping folk. You want to use folk. You want to drain folk. Let's see this here. Let's see what else some folk have said. Oh, this is Brown Do Life asked us this. The new age says humans don't need each other. Y'all notice that the other Ray J in Ice Turner?
It's one of the things that they're pushing, but I would say we need each other, but not in a way that's, you know, obvious. It's the way that we need each other. You know, we need each other in ways that really hasn't been communicated yet, because of the fear of being vulnerable and being all the way honest. We actually need each other. If men and women sat down and had an honest conversation with each other, it wouldn't be no relationship problems. Because actually, the honesty part, then the acceptance. It's just like even with, you know, your homeboys, whatever like that, you know. Now your friends won't admit that they're probably jealous of you.
Oh yeah, man. It's like a mirror, man. It's like a reflection of things. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you say that even about the homeboys,
Mhm.
it's like, why are you putting out this wrong reflection of me? Like, who's to
Mhm.
say I wouldn't put you on? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's this mindset that they probably are prideful and they don't want you to put them on. They
Mhm.
would rather they have what you have and you
Mhm.
be suffering. So in essence, they don't want to be a reflection of you, you
Mhm.
know? So that's that. But yeah, amongst the woman in your life, she's not trying to reflect you, whether she's with you or when she's not around you, she's not trying to reflect you. That's another issue right there. But like you said, if that honesty was there and we talked about this and we work on reflecting, then yeah, there definitely wouldn't be any problems. So basically, the problem is somebody cracked the mirror.
Exactly. And at least having that conversation, like you meet a woman, you say, look, probably feeling good about it, or whatever like that. Like I like you, but occasionally I'm going to sleep with other women. It's nothing to do with you. It just it's just something I just like new things here and
Right.
there.
Yeah.
It's nothing. It's not. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with what you're doing in the situation. It's just the way I'm wired. You know what I mean? I'm not wired the way how the Western world is given to you. Like things like that, or like the woman, because everybody gets tired of having the same thing. Who wants to eat Honey Nut Cheerios every day for 10 years and be excited about that shit? Like, let's just be real. I mean, it's just that's the part that kills me with men and women.
Well, a lot of and that's a deeper rabbit hole because I was going to address really kind of the untold truth about monogamy. But really, in essence, like she's wanting to absorb all of your essence to where you can't share your light with the world. She's supposed to be a twilight in your life, but in essence, she wants to drain all of your sunlight. She don't want no one to have your light. She doesn't
Yeah.
appreciate the life. She doesn't appreciate the light that you're actually putting upon her. She wants it all to herself. And I think that's very selfish because if you are a
Mm,
certain man and you have a certain energy, she should know good and well that you're not going anywhere, that you'll always shine your light on her, you know?
mm,
But yeah, you got a lot of insecure chicks out here. It's unfortunate.
mm. True indeed. What she said, like in an open relationship. Well, it's not really so much an open relationship. See, if you're open and honest in the beginning, like, look, let me slow it down before I get right into that. See, what people basically practice in the states is unsolicited polygamy, pretty much. You hit that right
Facts.
there. it,
Yeah, they either practice unsolicited polygamy or they practice polyamory. Either
yeah,
or.
exactly. So it's just like you know, you decide to be honest about that. And have those conversations. So it's like, okay, so what is it actually about? Like, if the guy's, I guess he's feeling a way about whatever she's doing, or so what is it that you're basically finding out there? What is it for you out there versus here? What is this about? See, the truth is going to basically come. There was a young lady told me this a long time ago. We were just friends with benefits or whatever like that. And one of the main reasons why I never made her, my girlfriend. She had told me this situation. She was like, I'm kind of like this. It's like a guy can basically put me up, can have me in a house in the hills. I could be driving, a foreign, money in the bank, whatever like that, and will take that foreign and go down to the bus stop and pick that guy that's struggling to buy a black mile because I like the challenge.
Man, yeah, that's definitely man, this is that's another rabbit hole right there, man. So yo, they ain't man, this is we definitely just getting started. Let's see this. Venom, he said, I've known of many who sold their souls for money, status, fame, and none to redeem it. Yeah. Oh yeah, all day long, man. People who gain the world but lose their soul every day. Every day. Um Cool J 87. He said, bad company spoils good character. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33. Right on. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. And then Essel Stoic, he said, high value man according to whose values. See, that's another thing right there. A lot of people self-proclaiming themselves as high value man as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, whose values, that's another issue altogether because of the validation aspect. You know, you high value man in your city, but are you high value man across the country? See, they don't think about that.
Facts. Facts. And it's subjective. The people that are explaining it, explain from a subjective standpoint, based on where they're at, based on what they have, and based on what they don't have. If they don't have character, then they'll say, "Well, you got to make this amount a year." And if they have character, they don't have money. They say, "Well, it's not about your money, or it's not about your." It's too subjective, and it was originally created, by women. When they're talking about value and everything like that, their value, when you look at a man's character, is based on what he's got in his bank account, based on when he's driving, based on where he lives. That's just not like ignore that. According to those little stats, when I say it's little, because you can actually accomplish those things if you really were just to focus, and sacrifice and be committed to to whatever mission that, comes upon you to do. You can have those things. As far as being, godly, that's an even stronger discipline. That's going to require a lot more of you, pretty much all of you. This is what separates you from being average. And the problem is with most, men and women are average. And what I mean by average is that they're really barely struggling to get by.
Facts. And, and it's like, we could take this to another level in regards to, it's like, you could tell a chick, you could be like, hey, look, sweetie, you want just a typical relationship with me, or do you actually want a godly relationship with me? Like that'll get her head kind of ticking in a different direction. Like, what do you mean a godly relationship? Okay, well, let's talk. Let's chop it up. You got to break it down to it, because now you said something that she's never heard before. So I'm big on getting guys to be like, yo, you got to hit it with something that for sure she ain't ever heard before. Even if you don't think it makes sense, if you're a certain kind of a man, you're going to make it make sense. But exactly. It's cool to get her left field with some ideas. Got to get her left field. Because if you try to make everything right, it's bound to go left. So you might as well start off from the left. Why not? And then hopefully things will get right.
Exactly.
But that's going to be up to her.
Exactly. You gotta understand that women love drama and excitement and something different. Maybe the difference if it's right or wrong. It's just something that's different. They like the drama and the excitement. That's their whole life. That's why they love making bad decisions. This is the reason why they look for the guy that's actually a problem solver, because they can continue to make bad decisions.
Right. And they only get half of that with the bad boy, because he's actually the problem. Okay. Yeah. So, but you get around a black knight, aka the gentleman, he's actually the problem solver. She'll be thinking that you are the problem. You'll be like, no, I just presented to you a problem, but I'm gonna show you how to solve this problem. Then what? Then she gonna be like, okay, you kind of lost me there. You're gonna have to show me that again. But she gonna be like kind of blushing a little bit because you threw her off. Let me see this. Brown Do Life, he says something on the lines of, yeah, it has to be all the way real, 100%. It's possible out here. I'll be making sure the situation is 100%. That's the thing. I don't believe in this idea of 50-50, Ice Turner. I tell people, I believe in the idea of being 100. Instead of 50-50, be 100. I'm up here kind of talking too fast, but yeah, instead of being 50-50, be 100-100. Because you both should be keeping it 100.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What are we going half on? I mean,
right.
Half on the truth, half on a baby. Like, what are we doing here?
Right. Right. I mean, ultimately, if she is not really agreeing to what you're presenting before her, no matter what it is, then she's not keeping it 100 with you. And it is what it is. Okay, cool. I'm keeping it 100 with you, but you can't keep it 100 with me. Okay, that's fine. You know, now she can at least be 100 in the fact that she's not trying to accept what you got going on, so she's gonna go her separate way. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the feminine gender that is accepting that man regardless because she likes that energy and she understands that he's gonna be there. So like you said, this is that next level talk, that godly type of relationship. But this, yeah, we don't hear about this. We don't hear about these conversations
because it's not in them. They'll try to imitate it. I remember a guy was trying to basically do his best rendition of the throat, and I think the might have been the throat, and it was another chakra he was trying to explain. I don't want to be incorrect with that, but it was just like you could tell he was listening to some of the old videos and was trying to basically spew it in front of his audience. It was rather I wouldn't say it was comical, it was sad.
Yeah, man, it's sad. And then they talk about having his jawline and mouthpiece, but the problem is what's coming out the mouthpiece. What's coming out that? How does it sound coming out of the mouthpiece? The vibration, the frequency. How does it sound when you're talking? So my thing is, I've heard guys even say manipulation, but to what context you mean manipulation? Now I can understand because I really don't like to do manipulation, but however, I do understand that sometimes to put something back together, you got to break it because it came to you pretty much badly assembled in the first place.
Exactly.
So exactly. I get that, but not from the standpoint of where you see something, it already has a good form, but you just choose to break it apart anyway. I'm not talking about that, but that's how a lot of guys be talking in regards to manipulation amongst the feminine gender.
See, it's just like you gotta look at. It's the soil, it's the earth, right? It's the material. It is you as a man as being a builder. If you're building upon your life, if you're steady building upon your life, you're going to see the woman is really no different from any other projects you have. You're building upon it. You have to demo, her ideas and what she had originally felt about anything. Not necessarily making her feel good or making her see things better, but you have to give her new feelings. Not giving her good feelings, but new feelings about things, because everything comes down to perspective. If you want to have a better life and have a changed perspective, so you have to change the woman's perspective, and dealing with that perspective is dealing with her traumas, because a lot of times she wants to basically feel better, right? But she doesn't know how to have better feelings because of that trauma, or she wants to see things better, but she can't see it better because the effects of that hit or whatever happened to her is dominating her. I said this a long time ago. A woman's greatest enemy is her memory. So you have to change the programming. See, but this is the difference between game and guidance. See, Game Boys, right? That's what we call them, Game Boys. These are a bunch of weasels. Substitute.
That's dope. That's dope.
Exactly. Substitute the fact that they're not men. See, when you become a god, right, on Earth, a master, able, and noble, as a generator, operator, destroyer, man of God, right? God amongst men. You present guidance. You are the light. Okay? See, the people that don't belong, they're going to be blinded by the light. But the woman that, the people that do belong and the woman that is for you is going to basically see that light and want to draw closer to you. And it's going to get healing from that. It's going to get ministry. And she's going to remember, she's going to have good memories now. Memory and genius, she's going to have those good memories. Of how you transform her life, and she's going to be a part of you. She wants to do anything, to basically expand your campaign and to be a part of what you're doing and to make sure that you're seen out into the world. Because in her psyche, in her spirit, if it wasn't for you, she wouldn't be anything.
Facts. Part of that whole Twilight effect. Exactly. You brought that light upon her. She's now a reflection of your light, aka the twilight, all day long.
Exactly.
Uh, Cool Gent, he said, Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20, New King James Version. 20 um, woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Yeah. Oh yeah. Um, you also said a true reason why most uh modern feminist women don't ever get married is because they are worldly. Oh yeah, liberal, you name it. Oh yeah, all day long. Um, and then you ask both me and Ice Turner, how many women have you fellas ever heard that they want to be a virtuous woman? Probably never. Probably. I mean, I'm just using figure of speech when I say
Mm,
that, but I'm just
mm.
gonna say
No, I haven't
that's
heard
a
it.
very small number.
I, I haven't heard it, but it all begins with your mind, right? You're going to get the woman that's in front of you. It's going to be a reflection of your mind. So if you're basically saying to yourself that you basically want to be a virtuous, true king, right? You build yourself up to that space. You work on that. Guess what's going to come around you? The women that's going to basically aspire to be the reflection of that. You know, they're not going to outright say it, but you guide them into that. You don't tell a woman what to do.
Exactly.
You guide her into it as being the guiding light. You guide her into the truth. This guy's spent too much time trying to make a woman think. You got to make you got to cause her to feel right a new feeling about the truth that you're presenting of guiding her to her light. You know, women seek guidance. They seek masculine guidance. That's what you want, is to be rescued from this situation, to be rescued emotionally, mentally, physically, financially. It is what it is, you know.
And that's probably how you could tell the Twilight from the witch. Because a chick that actually sees a real gentleman, aka the Black Knight type of guy, she's going to want to guide into your light, aka the Twilight effect. But the witch, she doesn't want nothing to do with your light. She's going to repel it, or she doesn't want to be around it. She doesn't want to be around your guidance, or you trying to guide her. She's going to be trying to talk down and just be very like hostile about the whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to constantly try to argue and disagree with you and all of that stuff. See, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
guys talk about this issue of submission, but it's like it's not really an issue of submission. It's about light and darkness, but they
Mm-hmm.
don't get that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because the jewels is actually found in that. They're not going to talk about that because they haven't experienced that for themselves. They, they,
Facts,
they, they,
facts.
they really haven't made it, although they're presenting themselves that they've arrived, you know. But when you come to that light, and that light gets real bright, you're going to get uncomfortable under that. That money's going to look funny under that light.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They want to have a monopoly, but at the end of the day, it's still fake when it hits that light. All of it's still fake.
Yeah. There's no substitute to true masculinity, to authentic, manhood expression. Me and this gentleman right here probably didn't even come on here with notes. I didn't come on here with notes. I didn't say like, I'm gonna write this down. I'm gonna figure. I'm gonna say this, but I just, hey, look, I'm going right off the cuff with this because it's
Facts.
in me.
Same here.
It's
Same here. Right off the cuff.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's in me. I know it's in me. I've been under pressure and it's proven itself. So it's like getting behind a computer and talking. No, ain't nothing. I've been under the test for real, under the pressure of life, and I've had to hold on to this to this message, to this philosophy, to this way of life, and had to stand tall when I wanted to get emotional, when I wanted to crumble, and I didn't. So get behind the community is like, I don't need to have notes and footnotes and afterthoughts, before thoughts. What I'm going to say to this, like, no, it's in me. I'm confident about it.
Facts. That's what makes you a god amongst men, man. Because the men take notes. They put it on tablets and computers, and all this stuff is in your DNA, man. It's in your mental manuscript. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's I think when people really talk about what really the red pill is, it should be in you. It shouldn't even have to be something that you actually take. It should be there in you. It should be like part of your DNA. Like, but that's another level right there. Because maybe I'm just lightly saying this idea of red pill. Because I've actually been beyond red pill for quite some time.
I was about to say that.
Quite some time.
I said, I don't even know why you even like that. Like you passed that. Like it's just you said it earlier. It's like certain things, like certain titles, certain things that we basically have graduated from. We graduated from that before we even knew about a YouTube. Period. Let's just be honest. Before we even knew YouTube was even existent.
Facts.
We had graduated past that point. So it's just like, but we gotta keep it low key because you don't necessarily want to rock the boat.
Right.
As a guy, because they see you. As I said before, the people that's listening to you is not so much as the subscribers, it's the other channel holders. They're listening to you. You're inspiring a lot of people that, won't even publicly acknowledge you. But they know that you're the truth. It's like Jesus and Nicodemus. They come in the dark night and tell you that you're the truth. But you tell them, verily, verily, if you don't get born to the Spirit, you won't see the kingdom of God. You don't get born again. You don't regenerate. You don't change your thinking system. The way you're thinking right now is dog shit. It's not getting you anywhere. Until you basically die to that and take on this new life that we're giving you, you're nothing. You're going to have 1,000, you have 100,000 subscribers, 1 million subscribers, whatever you're saying. You have the money, but you still feel like shit.
Right.
You have the prestige, but you still feel like nothing.
Facts, because they're not coming from the truth. They're not coming from the divine at all. So it's like I kept it low key by actually re-examining what they meant by red pill. So it's kind of like when I talked to Cool Gen 87 before, it's like, yo, to me, the red pill is like the word, the truth, the scripture. Like you got to be spiritual with this thing. And that's just on the surface level. That's surface level. But these guys going down a deeper rabbit hole. Now they're talking about all wanting to be black pills, so they want to be void of spirit. They want to be void. So they don't want to be in the sky. They want to be underground. They all want to go underground. And I'm like, okay, that's on you. That ain't on me. But nevertheless, like when you get past a certain point, I don't even speak on like this actually, like with the content that I've been doing in regards to red pill. This is the only year that I'm going to speak on it. I just wanted to address it because there are a lot of ladies and a lot of fellas that are new to these ideas that come up on YouTube, and I want to give them the right clarification on all this stuff,
Absolutely.
And so it's like that's what I'm here for. But it's like enjoy it for 2020, because after 2020, I want to get even more of on this other godly frequency that I've been on this whole time. Because it's like it's just recycled information and now they're infusing game into it, which I don't know how that's red pill, but they're doing that, and I'm like, oh my goodness, okay, guys. So yeah,
it's a fucking potluck going bad. Like what the fuck is this? So it's just like the other thing, these guys are not really communicating. Okay, you explain, it's about female nature. You got this down. I guess this is what this pill is about. Swallowing this pill. This is knowing all his female nature. You could have learned this early on if you were paying attention to your mother. Like, let's just be real. Okay, if you're paying attention to your sister, you've been pilled already. Okay, so it's just like
facts.
It's just like, okay, so we got this out the way. So why are you still a failure with women? If you didn't got all this digestion, you've seen all these pills, you've seen all this information. Everybody's giving you all this information about how women ain't shit. They've broken it down to all these degrees, right? Okay, now what? See, the main thing is you forgot, which really the most important thing. It's not even about female nature. It's not even about, what the white people are doing, outside world nature. It's your own fucking nature, man. It's your own psyche.
Yep.
It's what you
It's
basically
within.
you need to
It's
basically
within.
that's that pill you need to swallow. There's some truths that you need to accept about yourself.
Hey, you know what else though, Ice Turner, man? With the way these dudes be talking, and I brought this up that these dudes are taking they got a red pill overdose going on. But with that also said, I'm just like, dudes just sounding more depressed out here, man. Like, I just look at, I could go to your channel and see the titles of your content, and I can tell. And then depending on how many subscribers you got, I already know. I'm like, dude, you leading folk down a lonely road, bro. Like, I mean, the road is lonely for a lot of us, but you're making folk even more lost than before.
Exactly. And one of the main things they hate about me is the confidence and the belief, because I think I had a live stream that's called "My Level of Dopeness is Somewhere Between Michael Jordan and God," and they were pissed. Why not? Why not? Who would think of some shit like that?
Right.
That's where I'm at. You know.
I mean, it's no different if you know, like when somebody said that they're the greatest, or they know that they one of the baddest men on the planet, or they gifted, and you seen that they back it up. How can you refute that? You can't.
I guess, yeah. I think the thing is they want me to act like I don't know. You know, that's where the anger comes from. They want you to act like you don't know. They want you. Other people, when I say the subscribers, they have no issue with it. The other channel holders, they want to be able to stick pins in you. They want to be able to use it. They want to be able to pimp you. But it's like, no.
Facts.
No.
Man, you know what, y'all? We got the oven set. We just did the preheat of the oven, y'all. Y'all think we cooking? We just did a preheat of the oven.
Pretty much.
I think what we'll do is we'll stop here for tonight. I'm trying to see if there's anything else everybody else has said, and then we'll just sign off from here. What I might actually do is I see a lot of y'all comments. I'm going to try to screenshot a lot of these comments. I don't know if I could do it right now from my mobile device, but I want to go over a lot of things y'all said maybe in the sequel. So stay tuned. If I didn't get to your comment tonight, we gonna touch upon it, in the next live stream. So yeah, any closing thoughts you got before we sign off here, Ice?
Now I'm pretty much in my DJ Khaled voice. Another one. This is another classic right here, man.
The key, the major key. Yeah, okay. Kimberly Blue, I appreciate it. We both appreciate it. Yeah. I mean, thank you for stopping by. Yes.
Indeed. Respect.
Man, but yeah, we gonna end it here, y'all. And definitely we got something else coming up. We're gonna chop it up in the back chat. We're gonna set up another date. And we definitely gonna continue on with this conversation, because as you can see and as you could tell, even those listening to this on the replay, this is on another frequency. When you feel like amongst men, you're just not built the same.
Exactly. We are the cloth, not just cut from a different cloth. We are that cloth.
Facts. But yeah, those listening to this on the replay, if this your first time at my channel, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so that you get my uploads in real time, and make sure that you also subscribe to Ice Turner Senior's channel. The Ice Turner Experience is always in effect at his channel. Yes.
Indeed. Hey, blessings always, man. I look forward to working with you again, man. You know what I mean? It was definitely fun. It was insightful,
Likewise, man. I had a blast, man. I can't wait till we chop it up again. Most definitely, fam.
Indeed.
All right, y'all. Y'all take care. And until next time, until next time, signing out. Thanks for stopping by, y'all. Much love. Thanks for stopping by.